Hi everyone, how's it going? Another beautiful day. It's Sunday live at 10 a.m. Dr. Rod Kiltz. A pleasure, always great to be listening and learning and sharing love to everyone. Monica, how are you doing? Mezzies. Hi, Melissa, hello, how are you doing? Let's see, Facebook and Instagram, waves to everyone. Monica, again, Tiffany, thumbs up. Andrea, hello. Melissa, good morning. I've been up since about 5:30, 6 o'clock today. I slept in. My usual is 4 to 4:30 at the office by 4:30 to 5, but I'm kind of hunkering in. It's a nice, beautiful, rainy day. I was going to go out practicing a few things flying, but I'm just hunkering indoors and relaxing and getting a chance to share it with you guys. Hey, Lauren, how you doing? So a lot of questions, comments, thoughts, concerns on COVID. We've done our Monday through Friday COVID updates, and I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm having fun. It's nice to be able to communicate and connect. I did my Kiltz's ice cream this last week, and I used chocolate instead of vanilla. Really amazing. You might just add a little either chocolate syrup, really rich stuff. I use white sugar. You might choose to use some stevia, like Miss Maria Emmerich loves to do. And Tolly, Joe, how you doing, Joe? Always great. Lots of amazing things happening in this fertility world. We are coming back slowly but surely. Our teams are coming back. Our clients are coming back. And so we're all really working together. Let's see, there's not much new sports stuff going on, but there's a lot of reruns. I'm kind of a little rerun guy myself. Myron, hello. Chelsea, Megan, Michelle, Urbana, hello. Kaveta, Jesdia, Robin. We're looking forward to everyone coming. And woo woo. We got to have, I did a little bit of a positive guitar little thing. I haven't put it out there yet, but I'm always a little afraid. But I put out a Coffee with Kiltz, and maybe I'll throw my guitar craziness also, because we gotta take risk in life. Hey Jessup, how you doing? We are driving to Syracuse right now. Nice, Mary. So remember, keep your hands on the wheel and eyes on the road, and you can always listen to me. And just the listening to these ideas, positivity, hope, gratitude, gratefulness. And, sometimes there's a little bit of this kind of like fighting back and forth as we human beings like to do. But sometimes you got to say, you know what? I think we just need to share positivity and love as much as we can, by the way. Let's see. I saw that Family Building Guide said to stop LDN 4 days prior to egg retrieval. Okay. I don't know where that came from in the guide, but it's not true. I don't recommend stopping it. Sometimes some things get in there and we don't see them, but I think LDN, CBD, and keto is kick-ass, so keep doing it, by the way. I think that there was maybe some concern about some of the medications and the narcotics that might be counteracted by the LDN. That was the reason, actually. So, jogging my memory. So, it may be if you're on a little LDN, you won't get the same effect of the narcotics. So, in that case, yes, a couple of days, 1 or 2 days, and then restart it, by the way. I say just the day prior is enough, by the way. Hey, Tess, Fola, hello, good morning. Ashley Stevens, hello. Sarah Gordon, Michelle Cavetta. How long would you say to prime on Omnitrope? 1 to 3 months of priming is perfect. Kiltz's keto. Remember, vegan and vegetarian ketos are possible, by the way. Just because I am the bacon, body by bacon guy, I am all for your choice, and we're here to support your choice in that. But I'd say 1 to 3 months, but even 2 weeks of Omnitrope and 2 to 4 weeks of a low dose estrace, 1 to 2 milligrams, and then of course LDN, CBD, and DHEA in some cases if you have a low AMH and some DOR. I'm holding back on the DHEA if you're PCOS, but Dr. Corley and I have been talking more about it, that Omnitrope, human growth, may be even beneficial for those with PCOS, metabolic syndrome, So I would say that get on it early, by the way. Fresh transfer or frozen, they both work. Remember, the general $3,900 includes a fresh transfer and then an add-on of $450. We're going to go up to $650 for the frozens, but you can pre-buy at a 5% discount for everything through at least the end of May right now. So if there's something there that you want, you can add on. So how's everyone doing? Our Instagram is a little light today. Sometimes there are little issues that, getting on, but come on over to the Facebook side. Lots of good stuff there, by the way. Lots of Zooms, lower inflammation in the body. Remember, so if you go to the CMI Fertility website, we do reproductive immunology. I personally don't push the testing because it's not exact. There's no specific testing. My philosophy is that inflammation is the cause of all disease. The 5 leading causes of all disease, mostly glucose, glycation. Remember, glucose comes from all plants, by the way. And then the plant antigens, the plant phytochemicals, the fiber, and then the exercise. I was talking to Dr. Lutheringer this morning about some of the metals that may leach out of things like the Assure, but maybe even out of the IUD, but maybe even some of the metals that leach from our jewelry, from the things we eat, the things we drink, the off-gassing of metals in the air. Maybe something we should listen and learn more about, by the way. Vitamins with Dr. V, awesome. Cataplex, it's really, Dr. V has some really amazing stuff. Again, we're integrating Eastern and Western. Sometimes the list is too long. Shorten it up. Go longer on this priming to take care of, remember, the Ferraris. The human Ferrari, the most valuable, expensive, irreplaceable being of the universe, you are. Look in the mirror and know the beauty you are. And remember, if there's all that negativity shit that's coming our way, our job is to sweep it away and dump it in the trash and focus on the positive approach of life every single day, right? Hey, Jessica, all right, let's see. Who's coming back this next week? Let's see. Marnie's been back. Bridget's been back. Jess has been back. Kayla's been back. But Miss Larissa's coming back. And the rest of my team, everyone at the Syracuse team, but all of our teams at every location are rock on. Let's see. Andrea, 43 years young. Keto, right? With egg donor, tissue study came back, chromosomic abnormalities. Should I do PGT with my new donor at C-wide? Now remember, the PGT biopsy doesn't fix the embryo. It may tell us something that you don't know the problem is happening in a way which I think it's all inflammatory. I'm not a big proponent of PGT, but that's just my opinion. We do it. A number of our doctors recommend it also, by the way. And so we're here to do what you want, listening and learning all together, by the way. Precious boy on second IUI with CNY, want to try number 2 early fall. When should we make you return patient consult? Tiffany's. We're really working on getting them in early. We're doing most of our phone, FaceTime, Zoom, WhatsApp. Much more of our follow-ups and our consults are all going to be like this because the in-house stuff, it's not necessary. We can order up your ultrasound, bloods, HSG, saline sonogram, and we can really help get you to priming and prepping the Ferrari, the Lioness, the Lion, or the Lamborghini, or the Porsche, or the Ford Mustang. Whichever it is you choose to be, remember, make it positive, positive, positive. And remember, this COVID stuff, we have to imagine that it's teaching us something new when we're adaptive, able to change with whatever the universe gives us. And remember, it's all created by who? The great master we call God, right? Ovasitol benefits. Amy Porter, how you doing, Amy? Yes, polycystic ovarian syndrome is metabolic disorder. It's pre-diabetes. It's due to a grazing animal diet. We're not grazing animals, we're hunters, gatherers. Remember, if you simply eat less frequently, you cook the carbs well and add the fat, a home run. But basically, ovasitol is great, inositol. The metformin, 500 milligrams. We might even look towards lower dose at 250, by the way. I think it could really be helpful. Metro, Pharmacy with Joe, amazing. Jeff with Integrity. But if you have a pharmacy you would like us to help you with, we're there. We are working to provide the most affordable fertility care in in the world, and integrating Eastern and Western philosophies. I know, for most people it doesn't make sense. Remember, we are here for everyone of color, size, shape, age, AMH, whatever it is, whatever your gender selection is in life, we at CMI Fertility are here to help you. Sometimes people are like, oh my God, they don't do this, they don't do that. Oh man, we all have to do what? Calm down, focus on the positive, because the positive path of life is what makes it all work, by the way. Let's see, Asabi, how you doing? Alicia, hello. Good morning, Warren, Ashley, God bless you. Remember, sometimes when your ovary's not running right, not working, step back and take a rest. Maybe a little human growth, low-dose estrogen, don't forget DHEA and Kiltz's keto, and then restart up again. But remember, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and if the low-dose protocol's not working, go to the high dose. If the high dose isn't working, go to the middle of the road. If those aren't working, remember, always in the back pocket, right? Donor eggs, donor embryos, donor sperm, a gestational carrier, or guess what? Adoption. Or the trick of life is, you got to relax. You got to get into the pottery studio and do some painting, potting, piano, do something that's going to be more stimulating in your life and help you what? Relax. Because when we keep on reading the negatives and all this shit that just brings us right down into the rabbit hole, right? You gotta let it go. You gotta make up the words and the life flow to get it better, by the way. Hey, Tamara, Dottie, Drew, how you doing? New York State mandated insurance. Do you have to transfer all embryos before another retrieval, or can embryos be banked? I say bank, because they offer 3, but you gotta check with your insurance, but it doesn't make sense. Remember, New York State mandated program, if that's what you're looking at, it's 3 cycles, whether it's fresh or frozen. I say do 3 banking cycles, and that's why we're offering multi-cycle banking at a discount. If you buy one, $3,900. If you buy a second one, $3,900. If you buy a third, it's $3,900. We're still working on that 4th discounted for those that do 4 and didn't get the multi-cycle plan. But right now, through the end of May, whatever you buy, cash, full price, or say you pay in full, it's a 5% discount. And that can be used at any time within the next 6 months to a year. And if you wind up not using it, you get your refund back, by the way. But if you pre-buy a multi-cycle discount plan and you use one, you're in the process. And our financial people are awesome. They'll be able to give you a lot of good answers on all that. Angela, Wart, how you doing? Tiffany, hello. Let's see, Christiana, hello. Chrissy, hello. Chris, let's see. Oh, everyone out there, and I know my brain. Remember, this is the dyslexic kid, attention deficit, hyperactive, ADHD. And I talked to, let's see, yesterday, Shelby, Tristan, and Ethan, and Mavis, and let's see, Tristan has a learning disability. And when I hear that, I recognize that I too had a learning disability, but didn't realize that it was actually a favorable thing to have. So in some ways, we have to imagine that all of this that's happening in our lives is favorable. All right, Katie Miller, hello. Melinda, let's see, my lining was 12 Friday. Is that okay for transfer? Yes. So 12 to 19 is good, by the way. Triple stripe is good. You can do a fresh. Tell Dr. Ditkoff and Dr. Lutheringer and Dr. Kiltz you want to do a fresh. You want to do what you want to do. Remember, the fresh is included. Although I think right now, if you pre-buy, you're going to get a fresh or a frozen. included in that, but that's only a limited time because we're going to go right back to the include a fresh, the frozen is add-on, but we will freeze on that self-pay package, by the way. Saline ultrasound tomorrow, Chelsea. Awesome. What is the benefit of doing an HCG wash? HCG and PRP washes will help improve the implantation for those beautiful embryos. That's what it's about. So I generally recommend HCG and a PRP wash, intralipids. And don't forget to look at the protocols for the immune protocols. Generally, the one is for intercourse IUI, but if you have repetitive losses, repetitive failed implantation, ask about the immune protocols or print them out, read them, and say, I want this, okay? And don't forget about laparoscopy, hysteroscopy, looking inside for endo, inflammation. And Dr. Lutheringer and I have been talking about methods for flushing out the uterus, the tubes, and flushing out the pelvis with some PRP, antibiotic saline infusion. I think that could be really, really helpful, by the way. As a, let's see, I'm 43, April 30th, doing a detox diet. All right, remember, Kiltz's diet is a detox. It's one meal a day. It's cook the fat, add the fat to the vegetables. If you're going to do a vegan vegetarian plan, really cook them well. It really does help, by the way. Let's see, is that safe to do before IVF and reversal? Absolutely. So remember, the real way to detox is through mindful meditation every day, one meal a day at night, add the fat, cook the carbs well if you're going to eat the carbs, and get rid of the negativity in our minds. Remember, if you label what's out there as negative, you're going to live the negative. And if you haven't read, oh, my good friend, The Gift of Spirit by Prentice Mulford, really a great, amazing guy, great, amazing book. And my other really favorite is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I know it's backwards, but you guys will get the gist. And my new book, The Fertile Feast, is coming out really, really, really soon. It's really about keto. It's not perfect either because we're kind of meshing a little bit of the old keto belief that keto is shifting from glucose burning to fat burning. And Kiltz's keto, and my belief and philosophy, we're fat making and fat burning machines. And without fat, you're dead. And fat is fit. And if you're overweight, you actually are in the survival mode of life. But our modern recommendations of 3 to 6 meals a day, a high plant-based diet, low fat, is deadly for us, by the way. Cheryl, Brandon, how you doing? I don't know. I'm working on it a little bit. I'm shaving. Miss T loves like a gruffy, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I got to be clean shaven. And then I'm letting this kind of go a little bit. But I've been doing barbering for a little bit, which is kind of fun, by the way. What can I do to help prevent getting OHSS? Okay, Morgan Murdoch, great question. We switched from HCG trigger to Lupron trigger a few years ago. It's really reduced it significantly. If you're a high responder, add letrozole 2.5 milligrams throughout the cycle. Trigger with Lupron. You might add a little bit of HCG, but then stay on the Lupron longer, along with some Dostonex, and do a freeze-all cycle. That really helps a lot. We've really reduced the amount of ovarian hyperstimulation. We're really rocking and rolling, bringing in patients from all over the world, integrating our Eastern Western approach. But talk to your REI, reproductive endocrinology and infertility specialist. They're awesome and amazing. They're really an amazing, amazing group of people. Integrating Eastern and Western. Ask them about LDN, CBD, immune protocols. If you want to consult with us regarding some of these things, we're open. We'll help you in that process, by the way. Let's see. Mr. Zakira. Hello, how you doing? MR Zakira. I apologize if my dyslexia gets in the way and I sometimes misspeak or misspell. All right. Kara Black, hello. Chelsea Nicole. Lucy. For older women, I don't know what an older woman is, I think they're all young, by the way, is early retrieval showing better egg quality. So usually for the diminished ovarian function or insufficiency or lower AMH under 1, triggering at 16 to 17 millimeters may be better for some better egg quality. But this is where add the HGH, low-dose estrogen, LDN, CBD, and Kiltz's keto. I think that's where it's really rocking, by the way. But yeah, I think that there are some benefits. But for some reason, like if you have 1 at 16 and 3 at 13, now what do? There's always a little bit of a tweaking in the whole process that we're not always sure which way we want to go in all this. But sometimes it's trigger early, trigger medium, trigger later. But sequential stims, duo stims, and right now, if you pre-buy multiple cycles for banking, remember, once you pre-buy 3, you bought 3, and you got to either use them or lose them. But it's still a really good discount to do that if you're choosing. And for so many people, you know, you could buy 3 or 4 cycles, the price of what most people charge for 1, and this is a game of how to reduce inflammation in our bodies, by the way. Let's see, Monica. All right, let's see, Monica. I'm going to take a question, and still, if Monica wants to ask a question live, by the way. If not, we'll come back and we'll go on to someone else. Hey, Monica, how you doing? Are you there? Did you have a question? Dr. Kiltz, how you doing? Did Monica have a question?
No.
All right.
I'm just listening. Thank you.
All right, great. We'll see you in a little bit. God bless you.
Thanks.
All right. So sometimes we all hit that button, and I'm always open if you have some questions you want to ask live. And thanks for joining and listening, by the way. And if you haven't checked out Maria Emmerich's book, let me grab this, by the way. Maria Emmerich and Craig Emmerich's book on keto. Now, I latched on to Maria because I love her. And I learned a lot about keto from Maria. And recently, Maria and Craig put out the carnivore. Now, remember, I know it sounds really ridiculous, this carnivore stuff, but all I can tell you is when I did it in my mid-50s, my bowel bleeding went away, arthritis, eczema, psoriasis. Now, I'm still a little neurotic, but that's my fun of life and creativity. But I feel so much better. No exercise. I eat typically 1 meal a day at night, which is a fatty ribeye steak with a little foie gras and always Kiltz's ice cream. So if you want to check it out, I think it's really good. How much letrozole do you recommend on a TI cycle? So letrozole, 5 milligrams is my standard, and that's usually the lowest I go to in order to stimulate ovulation, but I'll sometimes go 7.5 to 10. And usually if 5's not working, boom, I go right to 10. You're not likely going to overstimulate at that. 5 days, day 3 through 7, and an ultrasound and a trigger day 11, 12, or 13, or do an ovulation predictive kit, or simply take the trigger and have sex, by the way. But we can also add on an IUI if you like. And in some cases, if you're stimulating with more than 2 to 4 follicles and you want to do IVF, you can do that. But remember, you can do IUI, intercourse IUI, IVF with a natural or a letrozole cycle. Jessup, happy National Infertility Awareness Week. But my philosophy and thoughts in this business and life, it's always awareness of fertility, because the foundation of life is fertility. It doesn't matter your age. We're all looking around and helping each and every one of us find a mate, find fertility, and build a family, because you can see the challenge it is to be alone and to be quarantined. I got Will joining me and Nolan a little bit, and I get to work to have my friends and family. Miss Tia's down in Florida. It's over 30 days of quarantine, but we get a chance to connect like this. But sometimes, don't we all need a little bit of time away from the people we love to, heart grow fonder? But there's lots of different ways to do this. God bless you guys. It's awesome. How are we doing? 24 minutes. A little bit of downtime in life is good. And my gratitude to Dr. Lutheringer, Dr. Corley, I've had a couple of extra days at home resting. I've been studying my airplane stuff. I've been playing my guitar a little bit, but I've been talking to you guys. I've been reading a lot about immunology, inflammation. I'm always looking at ideas and how we can do better in all this, by the way. Alicia Holtz, today is cycle day 1 of cycle. Do I call the emerging line to tell them today or wait until tomorrow? You can put it in your portal. You could give them a call today or tomorrow. It's rocking and rolling. We'll put the orders in. A lot of it is we should have the orders in, but if we did that and we don't have it scheduled with you, we sometimes miss it, by the way. Angela, Tiffany, hello. All right, don't forget doing frozen. We do a lot of fresh, a lot of frozen, a lot of natural. We do a lot of just have sex. But remember, if you're in the same sex intimacy or alone intimacy, and we're all finding intimacy in lots of different ways of life. And the more we can do this and take our anxiety, sadness, fear, anger, and worry and listen and learn all together. If you haven't read a book on a positive approach to life, finding happiness, but really the truth of finding something is to recognize it's actually in the mirror for all of us. And that's the thing that I'm learning every single day. Allie, I have DOR, low AMH. I've had 2 retrievals, which resulted in 7 embryos, but all died in the lab. Would you recommend it? Is that a day? Yes. Okay, so Allie, really important. This is where looking at my resource page on the CNY Fertility website, click the resource button, look at it and read about the family building guide. Look at Kiltz's keto lifestyle. Look at the Fertile Secret. And then the add-ons. And I got my long list of add-ons, but I really think we should look at Omnitrope and low-dose estrogen, metformin 250 to 500 with some ovasitol. We got to look at acupuncture, massage, and even some light therapy. Really helpful, by the way. Don't give up. And if you thought if they died in day 5, past day 3, do a day 3 freeze-all. All right. Remember, an embryo in the uterus is always better than one on ice or in the garbage. And so that'll help, by the way. All right, to all my friends in, let's see, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Georgia, North and South Carolina, the Virginia, let's see, New Jersey, Vermont, Maine, Connecticut, Mass, Rhode Island, California. I go down the list, and I'm so grateful to the people around the country and around the world. Canada, let's see, Hawaii and Alaska aren't out of this country, are they? But they're far away. But to all of those that have been going through this crazy COVID stuff around the world, we have to have love and kindness and prayers for everyone. And remember, prayer meditation is a thought, vibration. Thinking is sending out a signal, first of all, to every cell in your body, nook and cranny. And you know when you're fearful, how everything tightens up. But when you're open and joyful, and even when you're realizing that the fear that you have is pretty normal. Anxiety is normal, by the way. And we just need to shift it up. 750 to 2,000 I typically do a little lower dose of the metformin, and the ovasitol is once or twice a day. Hello, Lillian Danielson. How you doing? Recommend HCG, intralipids, and also Neupogen. Yes, Katarzyna. Yes, I do. Listen, some of it seems like too much, too overwhelming, right? It's like, why all this stuff? Why can't we do less? But you can do as much as you choose. You choose when it seems to be piling on and forcing us down, right? Or it's too heavy on our shoulders. And remember, these support groups are meant to be support. And when we're not feeling the support from those groups, get off of them for now, right? Find the support team. That's a lot of what I do every day. I find you guys for my support, and it really is helpful. But intrauterine Neupogen, by the way, And if you have a thin lining, you're trying to improve it, you might go a month, 2 or 3 of monthly, a high volume PRP. That's a great recommendation from Dr. Verdialis. Monthly lipids, keto, keto, keto. Remember, Dr. Kiltz's keto lifestyle. Look at it either Amazon or on our website. It's really change all. And you don't have to be a carnivore. You could be a vegan or vegetarian. Narrow the diet. Remember, no boyfriends, no girlfriends on the side, no variety or spice. Boring is best, and boring builds babies. I know it doesn't make sense. What are your thoughts on putting 1 versus 3 embryos for FET in the qualities good and poor? I don't, there's this idea that the bad ones are gonna like wrestle down the good ones. Listen, if you're good, you're gonna come to the top, and I think that is, I don't know that it matters personally, but we do a lot of single embryo transfers, and at our cost of the $450, again, I'm gonna go up to $650 June 1 on our frozens, but it's still a rock solid deal. We're really keeping our $3,900 IVF, our financing plans, and if you go to our website, click on it, you can pre-buy our treatments. We're still working on the bugs on that, by the way, so it may not be perfect, but between Shopify and partially, we're working on making it work, by the way. What do you want my AMH DHEA levels to? I don't measure DHEA levels, by the way, for Omnitrope or DHEA, but for AMHs, listen, whatever they are, we'll work with you. But remember, my Kiltz's keto, our immune protocols, reducing inflammation, and remember, it's when you do a little bit of this, yoga, meditation, prayer, visualization, and remember, you gotta love the person in the mirror first, because if you're down, and we all have been that way, by the way, all of us feel it. I've been down about this guy, sad, depressed, anxious. Oh man, I had some dark dreams last night. But I realized when I woke up, I said, okay, what's the value of the positivity of the negative and the dark? It allows me to get strength in changing it to the next level. So I think you could put in multiple grades of embryos and they still work well. And remember, grading is not very accurate. Let's see, 3 centimeter fiber in the uterus is at the beginning of my uterus. It's the fiber that starts would that be a problem for transfer? We're thinking of doing 2 retrievals, insights on that. Sometimes those fibroids, in my opinion, are signs of inflammation. It means you have a lot of inflammation in your body and you need to change to closer to Kiltz's keto. Get rid of remember, who and what is really trying to kill us? Who are the real predators in the world? They're the plants, right? They're the plants that are trying to kill us. They're the predators, we're the prey. And you're right, they're trying to come on and eat me, smell me, put me in a drink, and then I'm going to destroy your reproduction or your life. It's craziness, by the way. But so ultimately, I think fibroids, some of them should be removed. I think that'll help. Many of them don't cause a problem, but if they're there and it's not working and you remove them, I've seen so many people, then bingo, get pregnant, and that was it. What can I do to prevent OHSS? We talked about that. Letrozole, Dostanex, trigger with Lupron. And remember, talk to the doctors, and if you want to do a fresh transfer, you can do that. We'll give you all the recommendations and measures to reduce inflammation and kind of go from there. We're going to continue to do our grants and giveaways, by the way. We're working on some new stuff. Will's helping with that, and we're so grateful. Let's see, Kristen, if you want to ask a question live, I think you just request to go live. I don't know how to do it on Facebook, but I know how to do it on Instagram. Let's see here. Is the 5% discount good on the 4th retrieval? It's already discounted to $950. We are doing that, yes. We are likely going to the 4th. Again, if you buy 1, then buy 2, then buy 3, then buy 4, we're probably going to go up to $1950 for that 4th. It's still the biggest discount ever in the world, but we're really, really working to keep that $3,900 Instagram, Lauren. So I'm keeping an eye on if you go over to Instagram. I've had a couple already. How much is transfer after 1 year? If you haven't had a baby and you're waiting because this COVID stuff will extend that year, by the way, but it goes up to 1950 for the transfer of the cohort of embryos. Again, within that year until you have a baby, and then you add 650 to that, plus monitoring. And if you're a travel client, I think there's a 150 management fee. But we're still working to include it, finance it, and help everyone out as much as we can, by the way. Jen, Kat, how you doing? Good morning. Duo Stim, if you pre-buy 2 cycles, it's 5% if you pre-buy 1, it's 10% discount if you pre-buy 2. You could go on the website, Cavetta. Great talking to you yesterday, by the way. And thank you to all of you guys. I am very, very appreciative. And know this, it's not easy in any of this stuff, is it? It's hard. But I have a couple of mottos in life. Those things that are the most valuable in life are the hardest to obtain. And the trick is to stay in the mix of the journey. Stay on the path. But remember, it's a winding path. Winding road, long and winding road. Bum, bum. With the 4th retrieval discount. I'm holding that. If you pre-buy it now, but again, right now that is if you've done 3, you can pre-buy the 4th at the $950, but you can't pre-buy it unless you've done the 3 and then go to that. But we are going to be going to $1950 on that 4th. But if you pre-buy, because you're doing multiple cycles, but again, I know it sounds confusing. My financial team is really rocking and rolling with that. But basically, if you pre-buy and you pay in full, 5% discount until through the end of May, by the way. What are your thoughts on putting in 1 versus 3? I think I answered that. Our Instagram's a little light and low today. I don't know whether it's not working right, but things work the way they work, don't they? TT Mandy. It's my pleasure, by the way, that we feel hopeless. Now, I like to consider hope as having only positive energy. Remember, we are on this journey of life, and we will all die. Leave the dead to the dead, I think it's written, but not the dead to the dead because they're always alive within us, in our hopes and prayers. And so the real trick to all of this is how do we take the words from others and turn it around, right? How do you make a smile, you turn a frown upside down? My mother, Maria, that was her motto in life. But it is sharing hope. But, we're always hoping for something better. But the real trick is imagining that everything we have right now is perfect. And I know when it doesn't feel perfect, and it's like, well, wait a minute. The conundrum is I want something different, but I have to imagine that I have it already, and it's already perfect. That's called the secret of life, right? And how come a patient has to speak with you and never let his questions on my IVF? Okay. How come when a patient has to speak with you and never let you? My failed IVF when I've been nice to actually speak to my doctor, Samantha. Listen, if you fail an IVF, don't start anything until you had scheduled to talk to someone else if that's what you want to do. But if you get started and you didn't talk to someone, it's just because you're going at it. We are very busy talking to a lot of people, but it's not, everyone often wants to talk to Dr. Kiltz. Well, I'm like bucketfold. I do my very best to share a lot of information here to help on that journey. But Dr. Corley Lutheringer, Dr. Chang, Dr. Ditkoff, Dr. Grossman, Dr. Verdialis, all of our docs are rocking and rolling, ready to go. Look and even talk to our practitioners that are amazing. But if you go on another cycle without saying, wait a minute, stop, we will keep you going as long as you say, yes, let me go. But we're working to give you a lot of information. Remember, who controls this process? You do always. If it's not feeling right, stop it. No one is taking you and throwing into this bucket and making you do anything. We are here learning and rocking and rolling together, right? If you do something and it doesn't work, you're ultimately responsible for the doing of it. We are going to shift and change as much as we can and learn with you, and we know that 100%. Couldn't see the live on Instagram. Maybe should I end the Instagram and restart Instagram? Maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end now on Instagram, and I don't know, 6 has viewed your, all right, I don't know. Let's get back out of this. Let's delete, cancel, share. Of course we're going to share. Oh man, I don't even know how this button's working and not working. Delete. All right, delete it. Let's get started over here. Let's go to live and hit that button again. All right. I'm Dr. Kiltz, Samantha. I oversee all of it. We have a multitude of team members that all work together. I don't do all the retrievals, the transfers, the follow-ups, the consults. I can't do it all. But I'm really working in a system to give everyone some power to learn. And the more you learn, the better. It's better, better, better every single day, by the way. It's amazing. Let's see here. Again, if you're not feeling comfortable, it doesn't work with everyone, by the way. Let's say hi to Joe real quick, by the way. Let's say hi to Joe, all right? Hey, Joe, he's coming. All right, thyroid med with transfers. Yes, Viola. And if your thyroid's changing a little bit, we want to adjust it. But recognizing we're always chasing it, you got to slow it down, by the way. Russia Hunter, a pleasure to everyone. Houston, Dallas, and let's see, Jessup, Joe, how you doing? All right. And thank you, everyone, for joining me on all sides. Let's see. Amanda, yes, people text me. Samantha, I'm always glad. Now, remember, I can't always get to all my calls, all my texts, emails. So if you don't hear from me and you need someone, you got to go to the emergency line or go to your correspondence, because some days I have to shut it off. I have to get in my pottery studio, get in my airplane, learn some new things and different things, because we're all on this journey of learning together, by the way. And I'm here to advocate for everyone, by the way. And, if something's not working right, or you're listening and learning, or one of my practitioners doesn't want to do something you want to do, here's where you come, by the way. But again, a little bit is the more we're saying, hey, you know what, like Dr. Lutheringer, I know you don't recommend this, but I would like to do this because I read it on this, or other people are doing it. Would you help me do that? And I pick on Dr. Lutheringer because he's easy to pick on a little bit. Transfers currently, yes. Emily Megan, we're doing transfers, retrievals. We're doing laparoscopies, hysteroscopies. We're doing selective CATs. We're doing full immune protocols. Our offices in all locations are opening up this week. Our whole team, but remember, it takes a little bit longer because we're inundated with what we need to catch up on from yesterday. I'm starting reversals this week, laparoscopically. We're working on a lot of new and different great things, by the way. Denise Lopez, how are you doing? Albany Healing Arts, they're opening up in a couple of weeks. I hope so. The one thing is in New York, between acupuncture, massage, and some of the ancillary stuff, not quite there yet, by the way. Hey, Monica from Houston, monitoring facility get back up and running. Everyone's going to be back up and running, to our Houston partners, to our Dallas partners, Austin, from our LA partners. Listen, if you have an OBGYN that'll work with you and us, we'll help you. A fertility REI that'll work with you and us, we will help you with that. Because a lot of this is integrating our Eastern and Western approaches, immune stuff, but remember, affordability, quality, and access. Dr. Magarelli, we're planning on, I think, let me check my calendar real quick. We're looking at Monday the 11th to be rocking and rolling, but again, we all have to be patient in the process. We have lawyers and all sorts of contracts and stuff. So if I always say it's Monday. We don't know if it's this Monday or next Monday. Whichever Monday it is, it's Monday. I'm going to be working on Kiltz's Keto website. I'm sorry, from Dr. Kiltz's website, and a carnivore conversation on a live coming up, by the way. Let's see. Follow-up phone appointment or schedule a follow-up phone. Make it phones. We're doing phones, videos, Skype, 30 minutes. It's a nominal fee. It'll really help a lot of people get moving in the process. Our team members are there, but if you want just one particular person, you might be waiting a month, 2 or 3. If that's the case, what can you do to improve what's going on in the Ferrari Lioness machine, right? What can you do? Guess what? Keto, slow it down, cool it down. Mindful meditation is the trick of life. Remember, whose mind is who's the guide and director of life? God, and God is within all of us, by the way. And that's the master's words. Remember that. All right, Shay, how you doing? Can we request a specific doctor? Everybody else just chose my protocol, but she's not in New York. So Dr. V works on the same protocols I have guided and directed for all of us, by the way. And our global team knows when to adjust things a little bit because they change sometimes. But we're overseeing all of them. We make a protocol and a plan with that first consultation. Then the global team will review the numbers and changes as they need to be, by the way. Rika, how you doing? Joe, a wave to you. We're getting everyone working to get started right away. Affordability, quality, and access. Remember, 5% discount if you prepay. If you get in, if your consult isn't for 3 months and you go in and prepay but decide to cancel, you get your money back, by the way. Kiltz's Keto. Now, Kiltz's Keto, bacon, eggs, butter, beef, and ice cream. Yes, ice cream. Cream, egg, good for you, a little bit of sugar or a little bit of stevia, and then add a little bit of vanilla or cocoa powder. And a little bit, remember, it's not all day long. And I will occasionally have some popcorn with a lot of butter on it, by the way. All right. And again, for a 64-year young person where I stopped exercising about 8 to 10 years ago, I feel healthier than ever before. I feel wealthier than ever before, but it's not in the money, it's in the mind game. Remember, it's all in the mind. Prosperity is in the thoughts you have every single day, by the way. And go to Amazon, look at Kiltz's Keto. I think it's $3.99 for the Kindle version, right? It's better to do monitoring at my OB/GYN or RMA New Jersey. RMA, all these centers. RMA is awesome, by the way. New Hope Fertility is awesome. Dr. Gleischer is awesome. CHR. So many really, really great people out there are really, really awesome. And yes, use them. You can do monitoring at one of our locations. I may be working on a Manhattan location. I'm doing this and this in order to do at least the monitoring, ultrasounds, bloods, and things like that. And I'm again, we'll work with you and your docs or practitioners wherever you're at, by the way. Mag's office said they have a years-long waiting list. Mary, I don't know what a years-long waiting list. There's a lot of waiting, but we're here to get people moving. A lot of what we're doing for Colorado is just the same thing we do in our other locations. You make a consultation with any of our providers. We'll come up with a plan. You come up with the location that you want to go to for retrieval and transfer, but the same pricing, the same financing, the same integration, the same family building guide through the Scene-Wide Fertility Way, by the way. What is the cost for acupuncture? I don't know the cost of acupuncture, but we're going to be adding that into our protocols and procedures, by the way. But those are in-house acupuncture team. If you have it from someone external, then you'll pay them directly in all of this. Let's see, Allison, how you doing? Let's see, if we have our embryos tested and come back abnormal, can we opt to still transfer them? Absolutely. Remember, we don't guarantee normal or abnormal embryos. We don't guarantee a pregnancy. But I believe personally, when you biopsy an embryo, you're getting a lot of different answers. I've seen many clients where they got an abnormal result, retested, got normal. And so then you got to wonder, and then a normal embryo didn't implant or miscarried. The actual scientific stuff is not very accurate, by the way. You can transfer more than one embryo. We will look at it individually, but abnormal with the normal, it's up to you. They're your embryos, not ours, by the way. Joanna, how you doing? Ayana, Tia, T-A-I. Does the embryo implant after FET? What day does... All right, the million-dollar question, when does an embryo implant? In actuality, we don't really know that answer. But once you transfer it, it's within the next 12, 24, 36 hours where you're probably going to get implantation. It's got to start getting some nutrients from someplace in all of this. How's everyone doing? Thumbs up, positivity. Life is to be relaxed, right? And there's so many great things on YouTube and Zoom and our connections. Manicure and gonal for stem. So we do either gonal follistim with low-dose HCG or gonal or follistim with Menopure, usually about 150 of Menopure with a gonal anywhere between 225 to 450. But usually about 10 days of stimulation. Sometimes we'll go 12, sometimes it'll be 8. Sometimes we'll start the stims on day 1 or 2 of the cycle, and then we'll get an ultrasound and bloods on day 7, 8, or 9 with a trigger shot and a retrieval 34 to 36 laters after that. All right, let's turn us around again. All right, and Joe, a pleasure. And really grateful to our pharmacy partners in all this, Metro, Integrity, but we're using any of the pharmacies you want to go to, you let us know. Hey, Kristen Durand, where can I go in UK? We have people coming from the United Kingdom, by the way, and talk to your local docs about that. But we'll do a Skype, WhatsApp, Zoom, or FaceTime video, or simply just a phone telefertility consultation and help give you some guidance. You know, you don't have to do like person to person, face to face, although we are face recognition human beings, right? That is really good. We are resuming our in-house surgeries. We're hoping that Kraus is going to open up pretty soon. Talk to your OBGYNs about when they're going to be opening up, and talk to them about getting your ultrasounds, HSGs, semen analysis, laparoscopy, hysteroscopy for endo or scar tissue. Talk to them about doing male and female genetic and chromosome testing, about metabolic inflammatory testing, hematologic testing. You don't have to do these testings. My God, people have baby without ever going to the doctor. Can you believe that? Hey, Chelsea Redmond, visualizing M babies, sticking. That's what we need to be doing. This is the vision of life. That's where God lies, in the dreams. But take the dream that you thought was, negative, but imagine how it's part of the puzzle pieces to get you to where you want to be. Say heavy cream in the coffee. Some people do heavy cream in the coffee. I personally don't do any cream, but you could try a little butter or cream. You might even try a little butter in the ice cream, and you can actually do a little coffee in the ice cream also, by the way. Lauren, how you doing? Pretty nurse, hello, a pleasure, God bless you. Omnitrope is not necessary, but I'm beginning to think that Omnitrope, HGH 3 to 6 units a day for the 1 to 3 months might be helpful, along with low-dose antibiotics, low-dose steroid. And remember, if your tubes are open, your partner has sperm, or you're doing home intravaginal inseminations, what are the things you can do to prime it, prep it, and prepare it for pregnancy? It's first of all in the mind and the mouth to soothe the body. And remember, okay, what's the right BMI? Whatever you are, you got to imagine that you're already healthy and ready for that baby inside you. Let's see, depending on what dosage, 99% amorphous sperm, TJ, 1% normal, will creating an embryo be a problem? Look at abnormal sperm is due to inflammation caused by our mental stress and strain and what we put in the mouth. If you look at Kiltz's keto lifestyle plan, you'll get a lot of good stuff right on Amazon, $2.99 for the Kindle version. But that reduces inflammation. Remember, when you heat up the testicle or the core, you damage the sperm. You create amorphous, abnormal sperm and DNA fragmentation. All right. HCG, clomid or letrozole, maybe even a little bit of low-dose HGH for guys for 30 days. A kick-ass keto, 30-day antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral, maybe. Acupuncture, light therapy, and remember, slow it down, right? Every day. Don't forget a little music therapy, poetry, pottery, painting. It's about therapy. We all need therapy. Every therapist needs a therapist, and every human needs a therapist. But the mirror is actually the very best therapist. If you are constantly telling yourself of all your problems, well, the problems are just going to be the thing that you live with. But if you can imagine the problems are part of the positive energy of the universe, they're the seeds that are going to grow with this amazing, amazing color of flowers and fruits and leaves and life and viability and vibration, right? 2 BGS tested embryos, 1 untested. Should I bank more and try transfer the 1 untested? Should I bank more? I think banking with the multiple discount banking is really good. And bank away. It's a shared risk. If you bank and get pregnant after 1 cycle, even naturally, bingo, you got something at a discount. Let's see. It's my pleasure, by the way, and Russia Hunter, a pleasure. We're all indebted to everyone in this universe because each and every one of us has a vibration as value. We have to look at the good and the bad, the right, the wrong, the easy, the hard, the negative and the positive is the thing that keeps the universe moving, right? You got to keep it going. So my pleasure. And thanks for joining me. Sunday at 10, it's a good time for me, by the way. It was nice to do it at night, but my energy is vibration in the morning early. I've been doing a little bit of Coffee with Kiltz on my Facebook and a little bit lives in other ways, but we're all on this journey together. And if you're focusing on the wrong and the negative, we're just going to be sucked right down into that, right? But if you bring yourself to the brighter side of life every day, the focus on the beauty and the positive, and yes, we do feel negative sometimes, but if we're mostly living in that, that's not good for any of us. And Pretty Nurse, my pleasure. Charlotte, how you doing? My gratitude to Miss Charlotte Jasper always. Alan, all my team's members. Hey, Steve McKnight, how you doing, my friend? And listen, none of our fertility could be done without the architects, the builders, all the people that service our buildings, the water, the utilities, every day, the people that do the lawn, the maintenance, the laundry. We have to have gratitude for all of us. And when we realize there's no one above us or below us, we're all together. We're all kind of in the cesspool of life, right? That's where what do they call that? It'll come to me in a minute because that dyslexic brain, right? It's a soup of all these molecules and energy, and it stinks. But that's the fertilizer of life, and we're all part of that. Lots of baby dust to everyone, right? Prayers and visualization to everyone. And when you're feeling some of the negative, just stand still and feel it, but release it and let it flow through you as a positive energy, right? We're moving from negative to positive always. And we're the creators of our lives through the minds and the actions we do each and every day. And I know some people will say, well, that's not science. Look again. Because the thoughts in your mind create the vibration of energy on every single nook and cranny of your body. You want to have a baby? Think it, ink it, and visualize it. God bless to everyone. I'll see you Monday night, 8 p.m. Until further notice, I love you guys.